Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank all of you for being here today. I'd like to thank the Assistant Administrator Fox for not just being here today, but for the lines of communication that you've kept open as you promised in your hearing when you came before this committee. You've stayed true to your word. Certainly appreciate that from my perspective. I would also like to thank you for finally, after many years of me banging the gavel and the gong, and also with the chair to set that safe drinking level for PFAS. That's going to have many impacts across the country, but certainly safe, clean, and healthy water is at the top of the list for all of us. So this committee values your perspectives on the challenges and the other witnesses as well facing this nation's water infrastructure, as well as your insights on implementing the effective solutions to these challenges. Today's hearings focus on a topic that is critical importance, and the chairman has covered much of this, to the health and well-being of our communities, our environment, and our economy, clean and efficient drinking water and wastewater systems. All Americans deserve this. We deserve to have reliable, affordable water and sanitation, which is, I am very proud of the bipartisan work of this committee that we accomplished in the last Congress to address America's drinking wastewater and wastewater investment backlog. It's such a backlog. The DWIA Act, as we call it, was written by this committee and is a key pillar of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. Created new programs, opportunities, and support to address current water infrastructure needs and ongoing challenges in small, rural, and disadvantaged communities. In this hearing, we will explore the current state of our nation's water resources, the challenges that we face in protecting them, and how we can implement policies in the IIJA to help ensure that every person has access to clean drinking water. I look forward to hearing from our expert witnesses and engaging in a thoughtful and productive discussion on this crucial issue. The IIJA authorized $55 billion in funding, as the chairman said, the largest investment ever, for a range of water infrastructure programs, including grants for small and disadvantaged communities, funding for lead service line replacement, and support for innovative water technologies, as well as funding for wastewater treatment and stormwater management. These funding opportunities provide new resources to address the current challenges facing our water's infrastructure. Many communities, certainly in our states, are grappling with aging infrastructure that is in need of repair or replacement, while others are dealing with emerging contaminants like PFAS that require specialized treatment technologies. At the same time, small, rural, and disadvantaged communities often lack the resource and technical expertise needed to address these challenges, leaving us very vulnerable to water quality problems and public health risks. IIJA programs offer a wide range of funding opportunities to help address these challenges, from grants and low-interest loans to technical assistance. These funds can support critical infrastructure upgrades, including the replacement of lead service lines, the construction of new treatment facilities — I've actually toured some of these, as I think you have — and the implementation of advanced treatment technologies. Additionally, the funding can support capacity building initiatives, including workforce development. Every water system I go to is really down on the numbers of people that are interested in working in water, but also the retirements that we're seeing across the board in the workforce is really putting a strain on our systems. So we need to help there. We need to help communities build the expertise needed to manage and maintain their water systems, and quite frankly, we need to get the next generation excited about this as an opportunity and a career of the future. Despite these significant funding challenges, ongoing unmet needs in small, rural, and disadvantaged communities still remain a concern. As they said, they lack some of the technical expertise. As we work to implement these programs, it will be important to ensure that the resources are targeted to the communities that need them the most, and the necessary technical assistance and training programs to support them. As the EPA begins to deploy these significant financial investments in our infrastructure, I have concerns about how the agency is planning to implement some of the directives from Congress. We were very explicit in our bills, I think. The Biden administration has prioritized environmental justice agenda, but it has not been shy to pull in, I think, political factors as they're doing that are unrelated to water quality and health, key conditions for how this money should be spent, and even funding for states as it's reviewed by the agency. I'm concerned that projects will not be considered based solely on needs related to the explicit statutory directives of safeguarding human health, keeping rates affordable, and protecting the environment. While all of us support empowering communities through economic development, it's important that we recognize that federal investments through the Safe Drinking Water Act and Clean Water Act, as amended by the AAJA, should be directed to projects where the needs are most acute and align with what Congress directed the agency to do in the statute. We shouldn't be sidetracked from responsibly investing in our aging infrastructure because we have such a historic bipartisan success here. Water systems do not align neatly with the administration's effort to use census tracts to define EJ communities or politicizing the distribution of funds. We've run into this in West Virginia in some of the definitions. Congress was clear. Funding through DWEA should encourage state flexibility through funding pots like the SRFs and other grant programs should prioritize the need. Funds were firewalled between systems of various sizes to make sure that rural communities, small towns, and big cities all got their fair share without taking too big a slice of the pie. The EPA should implement these programs pursuant to the congressional intent, which was resulted from some hard-fought bipartisan compromise. I'm committed to working on these issues that are so important to me, citizens of West Virginia and our country. I'll close by saying what everyone in the attendance knows. Water infrastructure investments are critical to public health, environmental health, and economic development. And I want to see these new investments create a better quality of life, create more jobs, and drive the kind of quality of shared health benefits that we all care about. I also want to welcome in the next panel Kathy Emery from the great state of West Virginia and also Raleigh County. And she is here with her husband, Roy, her son, Taylor, who goes to West Virginia University, and her other son is a graduate student at West Virginia University as well. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.